Hey guys, I was sitting around the house. I want to do a movie review, but I just don't know what to do. I want to do it with Crystal, but she's not here. So I just really don't know what to do. I wasn't expecting anybody tonight. Huh.
Tommy!
Crystal? Oh, come here.
Hey, Tommy!
What are you doing here?
No, I don't know. It's just at my house. I was sitting on the couch eating some Cheez-Its and had this feeling.
A review feeling?
Yeah.
For?
I got a review feeling.
For? Uh-oh! Movie review! Hey, folks, back here again for... movie review! By the way, Timmy MC, shout out to Timmy MC. If you could possibly make an movie review intro for us and put unmonetized music, awesome music to that, I would feature it in every movie review video if you would do that. Special shout out to him. He's done controversial videos about me, but also comical videos.
They're funny.
But they're pretty funny. Yeah, I've watched them, but some they make me cringe sometimes. But as I said, he makes me scratch my head. Crystal, what are we reviewing today?
Oh, it's got to be Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, busted makes me feel good.
Of course, it's the newest installment.
Oh.
Third installment. Tommy's not feeling this one.
No, I went to go see this movie, and in my opinion, folks, I had no feeling for it. I laughed for some of the jokes, but it was just the whole entire time. Bill Murray makes his appearance, and I'm like, you're not gonna have him as Dr. Reitman? Are you kidding?
I don't think he wanted to be in it. I think he actively didn't want to be in it, and all the cameos were very, very rushed, very just thrown in there. Which I guess that makes sense considering they were, they weren't being Ghostbusters anymore. They are kind of old. I
say that there should be a rule in a contract for an actor. If you make a movie and it's iconic and people reference it in your contract, if there's a remake or if there's a sequel, you have to be in that movie.
Yeah, he probably only signed a contract for 2. But I got to admit that I was going into this movie thinking it was going to be really bad, like I was really going to dislike it, and I was kind of thinking it was, it was going to be bad in part because of casting 4 new women in place, like maybe they were trying to make a statement or something, but actually the things that were wrong with the movie really legitimately had nothing to do with the women that were playing the Ghostbusters.
If you take a look at the Ghostbusters, the girls that are playing the Ghostbusters, what's her the girl with the dark hair? What's her name?
Let's see, Melissa McCarthy.
She plays Bill Murray's character,
and the main character, like the woman that they start out with, that's Kristen Wiig. I liked her a lot. I like Melissa McCarthy in there too. She's the one that ended up having red hair at the end.
That's basically Melissa McCarthy was Bill Murray's friend because
Venkman.
Venkman is Dr. Peter Venkman is.
Yeah, that's Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's.
What was he? Egon and I forgot the other guy's name.
By the way, the girl with the big
their names.
The girl with the big blonde hair. That's supposed to be
Egon.
Yeah, the female version of Egon. I saw it as soon as I looked at her crazy hairstyle. I was like, that's supposed to be Egon. And by the way, rest in peace to.
Harold Ramis. Yeah. Definitely.
You can see if you don't notice it closely. That's his statue, by the way, as they're walking out of the college and they're being kicked out because that's what happens to Ghostbusters.
That was cool. You spotted that because I missed that.
Yeah, I did. I knew what his face looked like, so I
Tommy
saw.
mentioned to me earlier that he thought that the character that Chris Hemsworth played, like
Was
the big
dumb.
that he was over the top dumb. I'm kind of surprised that I don't think that he was over the top dumb, because he did make me laugh a few times. I really got a kick out of when they were like, cover your ears, and he was like this. Like, it's like, come on. He has no lenses in his glasses. The whole thing, it's ridiculous. And I think I like how it's kind of interchangeable. Like, if you had 4 guys as Ghostbusters and they had a dingy blonde knockout as a secretary, that it would work just as well as having this beefcake, dim-witted guy with 4 women. It worked just as well. I do think that they missed some opportunities for some good jokes.
Yeah.
I was, as I was watching it, I would listen to some of the things that they would say, and I'm like, I think there's supposed to be comedy in that, but it's just not funny. And then other times it'd be like really funny. But it was like you have a few good laughs, and the rest of it is really just run-of-the-mill okay entertainment. The trailer made it look like garbage, like utter garbage.
An action flick, which Ghostbusters is not an action flick. It's a sci-fi /
It made it look like a
comedy movie.
straight-to-DVD movie.
Yes.
It was terrible. It was like the worst trailer I've seen, and I don't even know when. It was really rushed, made it look so much more cheesy than it actually was.
The original, I want to let you know something about this Ghostbusters movie. It's Ghostbusters 2, basically wrapped up with the beginning of Ghostbusters 1. That's what this whole Ghostbusters movie is the slime and everything else, and the ghosts were getting released into New York City. That's Ghostbusters 2 summed up.
I agree with what Doug Walker said about this, the 3rd installment, because
Shout out to him.
Yeah, Doug Walker, love you.
Big fan.
South
We're coming to
Critic,
Chicago someday.
Yeah,
we are.
He's ready. He's ready to be like,
I know where you live, Doug. I don't know where you live. I know where your office is. Tommy NC 2010 is coming to Chicago. I'm gonna meet Doug Walker. I'm gonna come meet Rich Music, and I'm gonna meet Wheezy Waiter. I think Wheezy Waiter lives in Chicago too. I don't know if Wheezy lives in Chicago or not. But Doug, I know where your office is, and I'm coming to see you at some point. Oh yeah!
But I agree with what Doug Walker said about this, because it isn't like supposed to be a 3rd installment of Ghostbusters necessarily, like 1-part or 2-part or 3-parter. It is a remake. It is a revamped version of the same story.
We've been waiting for so long for a number 3. Why is it that Hollywood can't
I tell you though, the women weren't what messed it up. I worked with this guy that was really starting to tick me off, because he reeked of misogyny anyway, but he was like, oh, women went and ruined Ghostbusters, and I hadn't seen the movie yet, and I'm like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever, maybe, I don't know. And then I saw it, and I was like, no. If I thought that was the case, I would have no problem saying it. What was wrong with the movie had nothing to do with the female casting.
It was the writing.
It was the joke writing, and how much they missed out on that they could have taken advantage of.
This movie, 100%. This movie right here, one of the best movies of all times. I could watch this movie.
It's fantastic.
I could watch this movie all night long. Honestly, I could watch Ghostbusters 2, but honestly, I could watch Ghostbusters all night long. But the one thing I loved about, just to give a little touchback on the original, was in part 2 of how they talked about how everybody sued them for everything. I'm like, wait a minute, they saved the city from absolute apocalypse, and they still get sued? They still kind of get put out of business? And I'm like, that's ridiculous. They should be kissing their feet. Mm-hmm. And of course, in this one,
they touched on that a little bit.
Yeah.
But they kept on saving everything, and then be like, well, just shut up, keep it under wraps so we don't want anybody to know about it, kind of thing.
But at the end of this movie, by the way, just to let you know, there's a little tidbit to Ghostbusters 1. Crystal didn't stay and watch the whole entire, like a Marvel movie does. This is exactly like a Marvel movie. Exactly like a Marvel movie. Our Terminator, Salvation, I don't know if it was Salvation or Genesis.
You're talking about this Ghostbusters movie?
Yeah, at the end of it, me and Hamza sat there, and me and Crystal don't get to see movies a lot together. We sometimes see movies separately, and we get together and do this. So I was sitting there with Hamza and his uncle and his kids. And we wait for the subtitles to go up, and then there it is, and they're like, "Who's Zool?" Because she's listening to it. And I'm like, so that basically what we just watched is Ghostbusters 2.5. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
I don't know.
do that to you. I'm so sorry.
I don't know if it's Ghostbusters 2.5 just because they mentioned Zool after the credits rolled.
There is no Dana, only Zool.
And I didn't mind. Well, I guess there was the evil spirit going into the guy's body thing, like happened with the what was his name?
Zool.
The painter dude.
Yeah, like
was that too?
Confused? I can't remember what his name. What the evil character's name was. Mm-hmm. Something.
Yeah.
I am evil and I want to. And okay, so get this. Like in part 2, he wants to take a child. And he wants to transport himself into a child. Yeah. Why would you want to put yourself into a baby, go through puberty? Why wouldn't you find an adult man like he transformed himself into and then rule the world?
That's a good point. That's a good
Why wait so long through a baby? I know we're going back and forth between the old movie and the new movie, but it just there's some plot points from the original movie that makes you, from part 2 and part 1, that makes you ask questions like,
I never thought of that. That's true.
If you were a demigod, and if you were an all-powerful ruler, and you were dead...
No, I wouldn't fudge with no babies, no.
No, I wouldn't mess with a baby. I would go straight for... You know who I would want to rule with? I would say... Who would I want to rule with if I was a demigod? I'd say I would put myself in John Cena.
I'd just go straight for like the president or some world leader, I guess, because they're already halfway there already. You would
absorb yourself into Obama.
Yeah. I mean, if I was an evil intended demigod, yeah, I would.
A ruler that had his head severed or something like that. Oh God, I can't remember what his name was. I'm having a hard time remembering what the name of the ruler was.
Yeah, I can't remember. I cannot remember.
But there was times.
I'm gonna give this movie. I'm gonna give the third, version or this latest version of Ghostbusters like an alright. Like it's an alright. I tell you what. I saw Independence Day 2 in 3D. And I liked Ghostbusters like 3 times more than I liked that movie. And I tend to like Jeff Goldblum and all of his, hammy glory. And I actually liked the first Independence Day, even though, it wasn't a spectacular film. I would even, maybe it's a guilty pleasure. But at least it had something. It had the kind of things that make a movie entertaining. The second one, no. It just played out like an hour and a half long, video game. Intro, except with better graphics. So that looked like it was and that preview, that trailer made it look epic, and it wasn't. It was boring and rushed with 0 character development. And then you have Ghostbusters that had this crappy looking trailer, as if they almost wanted people to not go and see it. I'm serious. You have to try to make a trailer look that bad. And then it ends up being like, oh, well, actually, this is all right. This isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
One of the main actresses in the movie got a lot of crap on the interweb, on Twitter. She got attacked majorly.
Why?
Because apparently a lot of people were angry at her because they said she ruined the movie Ghostbusters.
God. This just reminds me of the same old crap that happens with, like, female gamers. They get just so much hate. Some guys just really need to chill the fuck out. Just chill the fuck out, okay? Just simmer down. Simmer down.
Yes, that's Crystal. I'm not censoring her.
Oh, whoopsie. Said the F word.
Do not say that.
For all the 3 12-year-olds that are watching this right now. Tommy's new demographic.
My new demographic. Oh, geez. But I have to say that, You know, you saw...
For a change, I like this movie more than Tommy does, and usually I'm the one that's like, oh,
and
it's so stupid.
I'm with Crystal. I'm with it with the writing. I not because the women, they were good actresses, but because of the writing. That's, you know, I'm not against women. I love women. I love Crystal with all my heart. I love her. She's a beautiful woman. So, you know, I have nothing against it, the fact that they're women actors. It's just the writing was like somebody took a dump in a bag and then shook it up and then basically went to a staircase and they opened it up on their neighbor.
I mean, I have seen worse. I have watched worse, but it was definitely lacking. They just had so much room. They had so many opportunities to make some really good jokes, land them solid, but no, it didn't work.
Chris, that reminds me of that time that I stopped you from drilling a hole in your head.
You stopped me from drilling a hole in my head? I did that again? It's like the third time. Dang.
No, that's the part where you said it would have worked if you hadn't stopped me. That was a reference to the one of the original Ghostbusters where Bill Murray's talking to Egon. Dr. Bateman.
I bet you it's been 6-7 years since I've seen Ghostbusters.
Oh, really?
It sounds like maybe something we ought to do tonight.
Watch Ghostbusters.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I actually watched both of them back to back recently. I got it from Hamza, and I watched both of them back to back, and it was really good. It was like
I know I like them. I remember liking them. It's just been a long time.
So I think after this, me and Chris are gonna sit back. We're gonna have some liquor drinks and some Cheez-Its.
Have some strawberritas.
Strawberritas, straight up rum. Sit back.
Chris and I having a straight up rum. No.
Yeah.
Tommy can drink all the rum. Kind of like last time.
I just want to say that this movie was, you know, I give it the thumbs up, I give it the thumbs down, kind of back and forth.
It's straight across.
It's like when a car starts up. You know, or it's kind of like when you start a car, you know, kind of like that. But you know,
yeah, it's like it starts up. It takes it a minute, but then it starts. Actually, I think the movie started better than it ended up being later on. It was like starts off well, then kind of putters out and dies, but then starts up back up again. It's not running quite as well as it used to.
Were you actually intimidated by the ghosts? I really, at times, I wasn't really intimidated. The only ghost I was really intimidated by was the ghost inside of the train station when they finally turn to get unexpected, and you just see these big red eyes looking at you, and you're just like, holy snot.
Yeah, I've always been more intimidated or, you know, more afraid by animatronic monsters, like back in like the 80s, than CG most of the time does just not do it for me. It doesn't look real. I don't know. It looks like a cartoon. It was very bright and colorful. And so it was, you know, it was like nice, easy on the eyes, I guess, but none of it was particularly, you know, scary. Yeah, except that one at the beginning, the lady that came out of the room, she was kind of creepy.
Yeah, she was. Didn't talk or anything. She just looks at you with those bulging
and then her face turns all whatever. But all the other ones were, you know, me. I don't know.
So we want to say thank you, folks, for joining for this movie review.
Thanks.
Sorry for taking for so long. Me and Crystal have been so busy. She's been busy. I've been busy. So once in a while, we promise our best that we'll get back together and do reviews like this.
Yeah.
And
sorry, it can be more on like it's going to be every this,
month,
every that.
But you know, it depends on her schedule and how things work with her. So, folks, the movies we review, the movies we watch,
we do it because we got
nothing better to do. Keeping you on the inside fact, folks. Thank you so much. Catch you later.
Bye.